Viewers, 300 days ahead of the 2024 general elections, the Prime Minister has set the tone. He's set the theme, and in a very stark choice, he has presented the options to the public, to the voter. Viewers, under attack from the opposition for, as they claim, persecuting those that are speaking up for democracy, the Prime Minister said today to his party colleagues that the choice that is being presented because of the crackdown against corruption is a simple one. Do you want to go along with those? Will the public vote for those that are banded together by the glue of corruption? He calls them the coalition of the corrupt. Or will they support the BJP that is leading the campaign on behalf of the people who recognize that it is corruption that will hold India back, if at all, from the path to greater glory? Viewers, in short, the Prime Minister has said that a clean image holds the key to the 2024 election and the result that we are hoping to see. Viewers, we will try and play out that soundbite for you right now. Pay attention to these words where the Prime Minister takes on the entire league of the opposition that is today united and has asked the people to back them because they believe that the Prime Minister is using anti-corruption agencies to silence the voice of democracy. Viewers, listen in to the Prime Minister first.
आज भ्रष्टाचार में लिप्त जितने भी चेहरे हैं वो सब एक साथ एक मंच पर आ रहे हैं। पूरा देश ये देख रहा है, देश समझ रहा है। साथियों, भ्रष्टाचार ने हमारे देश का बहुत नुकसान किया है। दिमक की तरह देश को खोखला किया है भ्रष्टाचार ने। देश की जनता देख रही है कि पहले की सरकारों ने किस तरह भ्रष्टाचार के खिलाफ कार्रवाई के नाम पर केवल खानापूरी की थी।
Well, viewers, let's open this up. Let's ask some basic questions of our panel. Crackdown on corruption, says the Prime Minister, because it's long overdue. Several governments that preceded his only paid lip service to the cause and therefore, at some level or the other, prevented India and its people from reaching where it should have and where they should be. Let's open this up, and I want to begin first with Vivek Bansal, senior leader of the Congress party. The choice the Prime Minister has presented is a stark one. And he says that at the end of the day, the voters will put their faith in those political parties, principally the BJP, because it's clean. It's clean as a whistle. And that's the reason why it's winning. That's the reason why it has set down roots. It has a connect with the public. How do you respond to this, Mr. Bansal? Can you hear me? Mr. Bansal, can you hear me, or are you there with us? Okay, Sanjay Jha, why don't you take that question first?
Rahul, I just heard the excerpt of the speech of Mr. Modi, and I'll be very honest with you, I laughed. I laughed uncontrollably and actually had to walk off the screen, and I've just returned because it was a fit of wild laughter. My wife had to actually tell me, are you okay, Sanjay? What's happened? Who's tickled you? What's the joke? So now let me answer you. Mr. Modi talked of corruption. I mean, for God's sake, I mean, this has got to be the height of hypocrisy and double standards. I mean, Mr. Modi is talking of corruption at a time when the Karnataka government led by the BJP is called as a 40% commission government. And let me tell you what the WhatsApp joke on that is. They're saying that the commission is so high that the BJP should call it the Karnataka High Commission. I mean, people are now in Bangalore.
You need to move beyond rhetoric. Look, the Prime Minister and the BJP will turn around and say, and Shehzad Poonawalla is here, that this is very rich, Sanjay Jha, coming from a party where Rahul Gandhi and Sonia Gandhi are out on bail. And this is a court case we are talking about, out on bail because they have been accused of taking tax officials for a ride.
Okay, now let me answer
I want you to answer apples to apples, not rhetoric to, what you conceive and perceive and perceptions. No, let's talk about corruption cases. So you have two leaders that are actually at the fulcrum of the party that are out on bail, sir. And this bail has not been granted by Modi, or the case has not been foisted upon your leadership by the BJP. This is a court which has snubbed you even when you said that this particular case, and you know the case I'm talking about, it pertains to huge assets which were kept in trust. No, hang on. Kept in trust by the public with the Congress party, but have ended up in a trust fund for the Gandhis. That's the case we are talking about, sir. And on that case, neither has your petition saying that this case is a witch hunt, etc., should be shut down. The courts have not agreed to that. And in fact, your two leaders are out on bail. Now, you tell me if this is not an indictment.
Okay, now let me answer you.
Yeah, please.
Firstly, the technical legal argument, it is not an indictment, right? The case is still on. And I can tell you, like several BJP cases against the Congress, like coal and 2G, nothing will be established. Now, let me quickly answer your question. Karnataka government is called a 40% commission government. Mr. Modi should have some degree of, I would say, decency as to not insult the viewers of your program by talking grandstanding on corruption at this point of time. Just because he's the Prime Minister doesn't give him the luxury of indulging in, kind of insulting.
Again, sir, you're being rhetorical. I'm talking about a case. No, 1 second,
Did
sir.
Mr. Modi talk of Adani?
Is there not a Supreme Court? Is there not a committee that has been set up by the Supreme Court to look into the allegations that have been made? And it's an inquiry that has been set up by the Supreme Court. Why? Because it's a Congress leader who came and filed a petition. Is this not a fact, Sanjay Jha? Yes or no?
Rahul, I'll tell you the other fact that you have
chosen. But has anyone out on bail in this case?
Have you? No, 1 minute, Rahul. Let me give you a counter argument. You are now having an unprecedented, embarrassing situation, a mockery of India's parliamentary democracy, where the ruling party doesn't want a conversation on Adani and the Prime Minister in Parliament. They have disrupted Parliament. They are actually, in my opinion...
Again, rhetoric, sir. Rhetoric. I am talking about a hard fact. I am talking about the fact that two of your leaders are out on bail. They are your supreme commanders. This is Sonia Gandhi, who was running, in effect, through the...
By law,
please allow me. Who was running the UPA for 10 years, number one. I'm just saying, sir, let's compare apples to apples. Is Modi or is Mr. Nadda out on bail in any particular corruption case? I'm only asking you this question.
But Rahul, you know it. You're a veteran media man.
Yes, sir.
I've known you for a long time and I respect your professional contribution to media. You know it under this government. You think anybody from the BJP, the great washing machine of this country, will ever be indicted or charge sheeted?
No, why? Just 2 days ago, a BJP MLA accused of corruption. No, hang on. Just 2 days ago, a BJP MLA accused of corruption in Karnataka, the state that you're talking about, sir.
Right.
Just 2 days back, a BJP MLA accused of corruption by the Lokayukta has been arrested for bribery.
After how many days?
It doesn't matter. He's arrested, isn't he?
Because it's black and white, sir. It's like Bangaru Lakshman.
So Bangaru Lakshman, what happened? Was he not arrested? So, let's then compare. Let's compare. So you have faith in our agencies. You have faith in our agencies. 1 second, sir. I can't argue with 4 people at one time. So I'm just saying, if you have faith in our agencies, if you believe that the agencies have done a good job in getting hold of this BJP MLA and putting him behind bars, then they must be doing a good job without fear of favor.
Well,
Why has Mamata Banerjee, for example, asked 3 of her leaders to resign?
Yeah, Rahul, I respect the other panelists. I don't want to take too much of the
Yes.
time to monopolize this program. I think Anand and other people would love to speak as well. In short, my only last line, the Bharatiya Janata Party, after the Adani scam, that I think, in my opinion, Mr. Modi looked fearful today. I watched his expression. He looked a little worried.
Okay.
He was anxious. There was the usual political rhetoric. I don't think anybody takes it seriously.
Okay, no one takes it
The opposition is asking, Adani और आपका रिश्ता क्या है? जरा बता दीजिए.
Okay.
Why
Okay.
is Mr.
No one
Modi
takes it
so
seriously.
scared? वो डरे
Okay.
क्यों हैं?
Fair enough.
वो
No one
डरते
takes
क्यों
it
हैं अदानी के
seriously.
बारे में बात करने?
Let me build on facts where Sanjay Jha has abandoned that. Now let me ask you, Shehzad Poonawalla, number one. I've never heard of Sanjay Jha wanting to quickly give over the floor to somebody else, but that's
No,
fine.
no.
That means
we are
that
democratic.
okay. So one minute.
Yeah, we are
Shehzad,
democratic.
Okay, Shehzad,
We are
Shehzad
democratic.
Poonawalla.
There's Vivek Bansal is also there to speak.
Okay,
It's fair,
sir.
yeah. Come on.
Okay. 1 second. You come from a party, and Kapil Komireddy was here last week, and he said he's no fan of Mr. Modi. He's a fan of the Congress. But he said very clearly that if it was such a democratic party, you would have had a free and fair election, and Sanjay Jha would not have been suspended. Nonetheless, let me just bring in Shehzad Poonawalla.
But you should read what he said about Mr. Modi in his article.
True. I'm not
that's a
denying. I said
severe
he's no fan of
indictment.
Mr. Modi. 1 second.
he's called
let
him
me
a
bring in.
dictator.
Let me bring in Shehzad Poonawalla. Shehzad Poonawalla.
called him
Let
a
me ask you a
dictator.
very specific question here. 2 questions that Sanjay Jha hasn't asked you. Number one, sir. You made
Adani-
corruption.
Adani
1
पे
second.
बता दो
Let
यार.
me finish, sir. Let me.
sir.
You made corruption a very big ticket issue before the Delhi municipal polls. You said that the entire leadership of the Aam Aadmi Party is corrupt. Yet, the municipal elections were won by the Aam Aadmi Party quite decisively. Number 2, sir, you have said that there is no corruption in our rank. But there is a BJP MLA who has been prosecuted and now arrested in Karnataka. How do you explain this? Either, sir, no one is buying the fact that the opposition is corrupt and therefore an Aam Aadmi Party can come to power in a straight contest in Delhi at the municipal level, very important interface. Or, sir, there is something very, very wrong with the voter itself. So, Mr. Poonawalla, quick response.
Rahul, if we were to take the simple reading of the MCD election tally being 30 seats more than us as an endorsement on anti-corruption front of the Aam Aadmi Party, then by that very same logic, Gujarat has been swept and this country's elections have been swept on 2 occasions. Therefore, Sanjay Jha, whose career has been reduced to a laughing stock, should be laughing all the way to the bank because of the suspended logic arguments that he makes night after night. But that is not the case, because even in these MCD elections, you would remember, Rahul, that in the seats of Kailash Gehlot, in the seats of Satyendra Jain and the seats of Manish Sisodia, they lost decisively all those. And this is not about who wins an election or who loses an election. Now, can I not be interrupted by somebody whose logic and political status is suspended?
B-grade
Thank you.
Bollywood
No, let him
dialogues.
finish. He didn't
Look,
interrupt
Rahul,
you.
first of all,
Sanjay Jha, I didn't interrupt you, please. Look, let's
But he's made
face it.
personal
Even the
remarks.
Congress party,
So these
in
cheap
fact, Mr.
Bollywood
Ajay
dialogues
Makan, a great
catch
friend of
it
yours,
well.
has come out and said that Kejriwal is perhaps the most corrupt politician. He should be behind bars, and Mr. Sisodia should join him. This is what Mr. Makan has said, who's a good friend of yours, Mr. Jha, and you won't deny it. So let now Shehzad finish. He didn't interrupt you at all. Please, that's not fair. You given him the. You said you were democratic to the core, and that's why you gave the space to Shehzad Poonawalla. No,
right.
let him.
All right, fine.
Let
Point
him.
taken.
Let him
Okay.
revel in your democratic. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Please. Go ahead.
now, Rahul, I also got a WhatsApp, perhaps from the same community that some people on your panel belong to, and they said that INC stands for I Need Commission, and indeed it is that way. In fact, the global art of corruption has been now documented by FATF. Forget the national agencies, even international agencies which have been talking about Pakistan's status as a terror nation, now are speaking about the first Parivar's painting low, paisa do kind of art of corruption. This is the level to which some families have indulged in corruption. And what are these corruption charges? The corruption charge started when Subramaniam Swamy went to a court in a criminal complaint, and the trial court ordered the cases against the first family of corruption. They got no relief when they went up to the Supreme Court. In the West Bengal TMC case, there were 8 probes ordered by the High Court against the SSC scam by the CBI. In the Satyendra Jain matter, 9 months have passed. The courts have not granted them relief. In Manish Sisodia, he went to Supreme Court. He got no relief. Vijay Nair has been in jail for 6 months. On the other hand, when they have been, in a sense, been indicted by the courts prima facie, they say they are Kattar Imandar. On the other hand, in Karnataka, which example you are giving, our MLA is arrested by our own Lokayukta and other agencies. Our MLA's son is arrested suo moto by the action taken by the agencies by us, and none of the cases have we issued statements, even though he got bail from a court at one occasion, that he's Kattar Imandar. On the other hand, those who have been denied bail are called Kattar Imandar by these people who are saying that they are fighting against corruption or they are not corrupt. So this is the difference between the BJP and the rest of the parties, and therefore I say it is a coalition of the corrupt. On one hand, there is mission and vision of the Prime Minister that we have to end the corruption, and on the other hand, there is Sanjay Jha, commission, corruption and ambition for position. And by the way, the last time Sanjay Jha predicted something, he was making Rahul Gandhi the Prime Minister in 2019.
Okay, let's open
Prime Minister Modi's face. I think people have stopped taking Rahul Gandhi and Sanjay Jha seriously.
Okay, one second. Okay, let's keep it above board. Let me bring in Dr. Ranganathan.
You know, frankly, Sanjay Jha, you don't deserve even
Okay,
Bollywood.
gentlemen, don't ruin your case. Don't ruin your case. You're doing a fabulous job, the two of you. 1 second, now just relax.
Calm down.
Okay, all of you, please. Let's not derail this debate. Dr. Ranganathan is here with us. Dr. Ranganathan, how do you diagnose the fight for 2024? It's quite clear. The Prime Minister, whether he has done it rhetorically or not, we can keep debating that till the cows come home, but he's given the voter a clear choice. He says clean image holds the key to the progress of this country. The people themselves, in fact, this is his words, that the people themselves know that corruption is the greatest obstacle to India's rise. And they have to make a choice between the coalition of corrupt versus the BJP's good governance model. Where do you come in on this? Do you believe the Prime Minister has a point, or is he just once again selling us a dream? That's basically the question.
Good evening, Rahul. Call it truth or tragedy, but the fact is that we are cursed to have the kind of opposition that we have, and the BJP is blessed to have the kind of opposition. That's the real tragedy. And I'll explain why in less than a minute. It was a great speech by the Prime Minister, but for the BJP Karyakartas, I could see in that echo chamber, pardon the pun, there was not a dry eye in the house. But the fact of the matter is, he's already preaching to the converted. The reality is stark and the reality is completely different. Now, I say this as a chowkidar. You are a chowkidar. All of us have been anointed chowkidars by none other than the Prime Minister. The Prime Minister said, मैं ही चौकीदार नहीं हूं, आप सब चौकीदार हैं. Tragedy is कि बीजेपी के उस हॉल में कोई भी चौकीदार खड़ा होकर ये नहीं बोला कि मोदी जी सच एकदम अलग है जो आप बोल रहे हैं उससे. मैं बोलना चाहूंगा, because I as a common citizen of India have been anointed as a chowkidar, and it is incumbent upon me to separate the fact from fiction. So here goes. When Modi ji says that BJP has been working against corruption, nothing could be further from the truth. But unlike my dear friend Sanjay Jha, I'm going to bring just 4 facts on the table. The first fact is that none other than the High Court convicted the BJP for violating the FCRA Act and convicted it. The imprisonment for the BJP leader would have been 5 years. And what did the BJP do? In connivance with the Congress that was also convicted, they retrospectively amended the FCRA Act, making the High Court toothless, and no one could be punished. Is this not corruption? Number 2, the Prime Minister is on record 8 years ago saying that bahar black money itna zyada कि अगर वो वापस लाएं तो हर इंडियन के अकाउंट में 15 लाख रुपया जितना. मैं ये पूछना चाहता हूं, अगर आपने करप्शन पे वॉर किया है तो ये बताएं आप बाहर से कितना ब्लैक मनी वापस लाए हैं, कितना 15 लाख लाए हैं कि नहीं लाए हैं, एक आदमी के लिए कितना लाए हैं, ये मुझे फिगर दो, व्हाइट पेपर दो. नंबर 3, as far as corruption on the ground is concerned, on record, I'm telling you these facts. On record, the BJP made a minister, forest minister, a man who was convicted and 13 court cases on him on forest crime charges. The BJP wanted him arrested because he was in the Congress. But he switched parties, he came to BJP and the BJP made him a forest minister. ऐसे बहुत सारे लोग हैं जो BJP उसमें हैं. और चौथा आपको मैं account देता हूँ. Rahul, you only brought out this fact that 95% of all those who are being chased by CBI and ED are non-BJP politicians. इस केस में आप करप्शन पे कौन सा अटैक कर रहे हैं मुझे बताइए. जाते जाते मैं ये भी बता दूं जो नरेंद्र मोदी जी ने कहा कि हम भाई भतीजावाद के अगेंस्ट हैं. The facts are that 95 BJP MPs and MLAs are first and second generation dynasts. ये है आपका भाई भतीजावाद के अगेंस्ट. I'll tell you what the tragedy is. इतनी दूर चले गए RSS के प्रिंसिपल से कि now it is indistinguishable. I cannot make out that all those people sitting in those halls were at one point of time people who were principled and RSS workers. That is the real tragedy of this country.
Okay, Shehzad Poonawala, points that have been made, facts that are being thrown in your face, please rebut.
Yes. Let's address them one by one. On the FCRA point, he said that the High Court conviction and order was overturned by an act of Parliament. Mr. Anand Ranganathan and all the worthies were well within their rights to challenge it into the Supreme Court, and I believe somebody did. What was the outcome of that challenge in the Supreme Court? Was the law upheld or was the High Court order upheld? Secondly, he referred to about some minister being convicted and then being taken subsequently by the BJP. I would ask Mr. Anand Ranganathan to tell me which date that gentleman was convicted along with his name. He did not specify the name, and Anand is a scientist. He works on facts. The missing of that fact means that he is probably playing fast and loose with the facts. So unless he has the conviction order
Shehzad,
and whether any other
Poonawala,
proceeding.
His name is Mr. Chaudhary. I have raised this issue in the past. Mr. Chaudhary was taken in, and in fact, let me tell you, if you just
Mr. Chaudhary has been convicted. Which court has convicted him and on which date?
He's not been convicted.
Please tell me the date of conviction.
He's not been convicted.
That's right. That's right. Now, Rahul, don't interrupt me.
I'll pull out the tweet now.
That's right. So let's get facts clear.
You're pushing the button.
Let's get facts clear.
1 second. The enforcement directorate
Rahul, I know my facts like the back of my hand.
So now you will.
I know the facts like the back of my hand.
So listen to me and answer the.
There was no conviction.
1 second.
Anand can make a mistake.
One second. No, there's no mistake. Did the enforcement directorate? Let's pull out the 1 second. 1 second, gentlemen. Shehzad Poonawala, I just want to ask you a small question. Did the enforcement directorate?
Whom are you talking about?
Excuse me. Did the enforcement directorate? Okay, Shehzad, please. Let me just finish. Since you challenged a point that we were making, I brought in the fact. Now let me just finish. Did the enforcement directorate?
Right on that point.
Okay. Did the enforcement directorate not tweet that Mr. Chaudhary, who is now in your party, is an accused in a multi-thousand crore scam? Yes or no? I'll pull out that and I'll put it there. Now either the ED was trumping up these charges, or the ED is unreliable. And if that is the case, Shehzad Poonawala, since he's not been convicted, then why should I believe the ED when it says that Sisodia or Kejriwal or anyone else is an accomplice in the Liquorgate scandal? Please tell me, which ED do I believe?
Can I answer, Rahul?
Please go ahead.
Thank you. Yeah. Yes. Can I answer now? Yes, thank you. Please give me an opportunity. Rahul, first of all, Anand is wrong when he said convicted. Now you've changed the goalpost to accused. Now,
I was talking of Anand Singh.
Concerned, please tell me that has the proceedings against him stopped? 1 second. You can't have this in orchestration. Let me either answer Rahul or let me answer Anand. Anand, if you're talking about Anand Singh, please tell me the date on which Anand Singh was convicted. Arey bhai, you did not take a name. Rahul said it was Chaudhary. You are saying it's Anand Singh. Tell me the date of conviction of Anand Singh. Tell me the date of conviction of Anand Singh.
Tell me the date of conviction of all those people who you think are corrupt.
Now let me make my point. I know I'm right on facts. Now you're changing the goalpost again. Anand, you've never been this bad in any occasion. Now let me make my point. And you usually never interrupt anybody.
Your party, Shehzad.
You are now interrupting me because you've been caught out on a fact which can happen. It's all right to be caught out on a fact. Now let me complete.
Don't give wrong allegations. Don't try monkey bag.
You despise people who interrupt you, yet you are doing to me what you don't allow anybody else to do to you.
Okay, Shehzad, finish your point. Finish your point. I'll let Dr. Ranganathan respond to you. Let's finish your point.
Giving me an opportunity to
finish your point. Finish your point.
Now let me complete.
Yeah.
But let me complete. Yeah. Now let's come to the fact about Anand's final point about 95% Anand, you can respond at will.
Finish your point, sir. Please,
Poonawalla. Now,
Mr. Poonawalla.
Anand said 95% of the cases are against certain opposition leaders. Absolutely, Anand. In 2004 to 14 also, the people who were under the scanner were the Congress, NCP, SP, BSP, DMK. And today also the same lot is under the scanner. If they indulge in corruption, whether in power or out of power, are we supposed to do monkey balancing like the editorial line of a has-been channel? And therefore we should allow that one case here, therefore we should do a one case on BJP. If there is no corruption, why should we target somebody who's not corrupt? But where there is corruption, we should leave him because he's opposition to Modi. So he gets a license to do corruption. This is the worst example. Anand, and you and Rahul should decide whether you're talking about Chaudhary or Anand Singh, whoever you're deciding about. Please tell me the date of
viewers, the fact is, and the facts speak for yourselves. Look on the screen. There is a tweet by the Enforcement Directorate. Now, I'm the one who brought in the Chaudhary example. He's a member of parliament from Andhra Pradesh. The ED said searches under PML were conducted in the case of YS Chaudhary, MP of Andhra Pradesh, to investigate bank fraud of over 6,000 crores. 6,000 crores by more than 20 shell companies controlled by Sri YS Chaudhary. This is an ED tweet on 24th November 2018. Which party is this individual in today? YS Chaudhary. He's in the BJP. Now, viewers, let us not be relatives here. Let us speak the facts. Corruption is a problem. It's a deep-rooted problem in our country. The question that we have asked is that if viewers, the next election is going to be about clean image, and that is going to hold the key, then today, can the BJP take the moral high ground or not? It's a very simple question. I leave it for you to think about it, viewers. The theme has been set by the Prime Minister, and if conviction is the benchmark, then we have to see whether all these corruption cases end up in convictions. Because if they don't, then viewers, it would be obviously assumed by everybody that these cases were an exercise in political witch hunting. So if conviction, as Shehzad Poonawalla says, is the benchmark, then we have to wait. But right now, viewers, the PM has set the tone. He set a choice, coalition of corrupt versus the BJP. It's up to you now. It's over to you, viewers, to decide. I leave it at this.